Have you ever wondered why the same guy who can't hold a steady plan suddenly becomes magnetic the moment he's obsessed with a mission? Picture this. You're texting a woman you really like. She's warm, then distant, then warm again. Your mood rises and falls with her replies. You're checking your phone mid-gym set, abandoning your work sprint to craft a perfect response, mentally budgeting your week around the next possibility of seeing her. You're not dating her, you're orbiting her, and she can feel it. Some women don't even do this maliciously. They just sense you're untethered. You've made her your purpose, so she becomes the weather that moves you. That emotional instability doesn't read as romantic. It reads as weak. But when you are driven by something bigger than her moods, your attention becomes scarce, your time becomes valuable, and your presence feels like a choice. That's when attraction lights up. The emotional trap works like this. She withdraws slightly, less responsive, slower, a touch colder, and you try harder. Your brain floods with threat signals, and you chase validation like air. She's not necessarily a villain. Many women use withdrawal unconsciously as a stress response. But if you're unmoored, you interpret it as a verdict on your worth, and you start performing. You offer gifts, longer texts, more availability. You change plans to fit her schedule. Read that again. You change your plans because you don't have plans that matter to you more than her. She is leading because your life is leaderless. Here's the hard truth. A purpose-driven man isn't attractive because he's aloof. He's attractive because his time is spoken for by something he's building. His yes means something because his no is real. He doesn't punish with silence, he prioritizes with structure. That difference is everything. It turns your attention from a begging dog into a well-trained hawk. Calm, precise, and only landing when it's time. If you suspect emotional manipulation, stop guessing and start measuring. The first cue is reciprocity. Track effort for 1 week. Who initiates? Who suggests plans? Who confirms? If you notice a one-way pattern, she drains your time while giving minimal effort, immediately reset. Stop explaining feelings. State boundaries and behavior. Try this. I enjoy seeing you. My week's busy building X. I'm free Thursday at 7. If that works, great. If not, let's revisit another time. That sentence does a lot. It signals warmth, purpose, and a firm frame. If she counters with more withdrawal, do nothing. The right response to withdrawal used as control is indifference powered by a full calendar. Let her feel that you are not waiting. Here's the psychological trap you must avoid. Trying to fix coldness by producing more warmth. When you sense distance, your first move is not a longer text. It's a return to your mission. Close the chat, open your task list, and complete one concrete step tied to your purpose before you respond. This trains your nervous system to anchor in self-direction instead of external validation. If you still want to reply, use the 24-hour rule for anything emotional and the 3-line rule for anything logistical. 1 message, 3 lines or less, with a clear invitation or a clean sign-off. No double texts, no paragraph explanations. Don't negotiate for enthusiasm. If you're over-investing emotionally, create an investment cap for the first 8 weeks. Match your effort, don't lead by 90%. If she flakes once, offer one alternative. If she declines without proposing a new time, freeze outreach. Not a tantrum, just a standard. Interest that won't invest is not interest. The goal isn't to win her back, it's to protect your focus. Attraction grows in the space your purpose creates. Now the internal cost. Every time you abandon your mission to chase a mood, your self-respect erodes. You teach yourself that desire beats discipline. You teach her that you're negotiable. You teach the world that your work can be interrupted by a vibration on your lock screen. That's how men become hollow, full of attention, empty of achievement. Shift begins with structure. Choose 3 non-negotiables tied to your purpose and lock them into your calendar. The work block where you move the needle, the body work that keeps you strong, and the skill practice that compounds your value. Protect these like a court date. When she reaches out during these windows, you do not reply. Not out of game, out of governance. After, you respond with clarity and warmth. She will feel your focus, and if she's healthy, she will respect it. If she pouts, that's information. Power dynamics clarify when your schedule is real. Detachment is not coldness, it's capacity. You can adore a woman and still choose your mission first. Paradoxically, that makes your attention hotter. Here's a quick reset protocol anytime you feel hooked by her withdrawal. Step 1. Phone down, 30 slow breaths, eyes up. Step 2. Do a single, measurable action in your craft. Send the proposal, edit the page, push the code. Step 3. Review reciprocity. If the pattern shows she's playing games, you stop playing. Happy to reconnect when your energy matches your words. Then you go back to work. No bitterness, just forward motion. So ask yourself, when was the last time your day was driven by your purpose rather than her replies? Which signs of withdrawal hooked you into chasing? What boundary are you willing to state today that would reclaim your time and restore your frame? Imagine the moment you stop auditioning for her attention and start interviewing her for a place in your life. You're not cruel, you're clear. You stop asking, "Do you like me?" and start asking, "Do you fit the world I'm building?" That psychological flip is the bridge from boy energy to man energy. Here's where most men slip. They think purpose means ignoring women or acting robotic. Wrong. Purpose gives you a standard. It gives you a spine, and a spine lets you feel deeply without collapsing. The difference shows up in the first 10 minutes of a date. The man without purpose is scanning her face for micro-approvals, dancing his personality to match her tone, ordering what she orders, laughing too long at soft jokes, swapping opinions like costumes. The purpose-driven man listens, leads, and tests. He holds a coherent worldview and invites her into it. If she's aligned, beautiful. If not, he releases with kindness and zero resentment because his life is already full. You want tactics? Start with the frame and invite method. Before any date, write a single paragraph that names your current mission, why it matters, and what your next 90 days demand from you. Read it out loud. When she asks, "So what's your week look like?" You don't murmur, pretty busy." You say, "I'm in a sprint building X. Mornings are deep work, evenings I train, weekends I see friends and get outdoors. I make room for people who bring good energy and momentum." That's not bragging, it's orientation. If she pushes against it with, "Wow, you must be really busy," don't apologize or over-explain. Smile and say, "I am. That's why I only say yes to the right things." Then you change the subject with warmth. You're not defending your life, you're living it. Next, spot the 3 control plays and disarm each without drama. The first is the temperature test. She adds friction to see if you melt. Example, "Last minute, I'm tired. Can we do later?" After you booked a spot. You respond with the flexible once rule. "No problem. Let's skip tonight. I can do Thursday 7 at the same place, or we can try next week." If she meets you there, cool. If she replies, "I'll let you know," you say, "Sounds good. Ping me if your schedule frees up," and you go dark. No pouting, no pursuit. You're signaling that your time has a cost. The second play is the attention drain. She loves the vibe but avoids commitment, keeping you in a dopamine loop. Disrupt it with intentional windows. Choose 2 15-minute blocks per day for messages. Outside of those, your phone lives face down, do not disturb. If she texts 5 times, the messages batch until your window. If she's healthy, she'll calibrate. If she's addicted to constant access, she'll complain. You will be tempted to soothe her by sacrificing your structure. Don't. Offer a call at a set time once. If she declines and keeps escalating, that's not connection. That's control seeking an outlet. The third play is false urgency. If you cared, you would. Used as leverage when you won't jump through hoops. The correct response isn't debate, it's criteria. "I hear you want X. The way I do relationships is Y. If that works for you, great. If not, I trust you to choose what's best." No sarcasm, no lecture. You're separating emotion from standard. She feels the boundary because you're not trying to win, you're trying to be congruent. If you're over-investing, set a simple ratio. Lead with 60%, never 100%. First date? You choose the place, time, and vibe. Then let her choose dessert or the walk after. You send the first message today, she initiates the next. You plan the first adventure, she offers the next suggestion. If a week passes with you doing all of it, you pause. "I've enjoyed this. I'll let you plan the next one and surprise me." If she does, you've got reciprocity. If she doesn't, you've got your answer. Men who fear loss will keep carrying the entire relationship on their back. Men with purpose allow reality to speak. Pipeline management matters, not as a game, but as insurance against fixation. Keep your life socially abundant. Friends, training partners, mentors, occasional dates. Scarcity breeds obsession. Abundance creates perspective. If you're spiraling over one woman, you don't need more charm. You need more life. Fill your calendar with things that compound you. The Saturday long run, the Sunday reading block, the Wednesday mastermind session. When a woman notices your schedule is dense and disciplined, she will either harmonize or fall away. Either outcome serves you. You must also audit your environments. If your purpose is a spark, put it in oxygen. Stop dating in rooms that mock your growth, friend groups that roast your goals, workplaces that reward procrastination, nightlife loops that devour mornings. Replace them with arenas where effort is normal. Join the co-working space where people actually build. Move your workouts to a gym where showing up is the price of entry. Volunteer for a cause that humbles you. Your desire will stabilize when your surroundings stop pulling you sideways. And here's a micro habit that changes the tone of every interaction. The 2-beat pause. When she says something that pricks your ego, "My ex used to make more time for me." Don't rush to defend or one-up. Breathe for 2 beats, then answer from principle. I won't be the man who sacrifices what makes me proud to win a short-term feeling. If that doesn't work for you, I respect it. The pause keeps you sovereign. It prevents the nervous system from hijacking your mouth. That's masculine containment, and it is far more attractive than any clever comeback. Last, choose your hard. It's hard to say no to a beautiful woman when your mission calls. It's harder to wake up a year later with nothing shipped and a blurred identity because you kept saying yes. One pain is clean and momentary, the other is sticky and cumulative. Purpose-driven men accept the clean pain now to avoid the heavy pain later. And strangely, women trust men who can sit with that clean pain without blaming them for it. Have you recently caved on a boundary just to keep a vibe alive? What did it cost you the next day? Which control play have you fallen for most? Temperature tests, attention drains, or false urgency? If you adopted the flexible once rule and intentional windows starting tomorrow, whose behavior would be exposed first, hers or yours? Some women don't want to lead you. They want to feel your lead. The problem is you're waiting for permission to take it. Drop the permission. Start running your life like a campaign with measurable outputs. Purpose is not a mantra. It's a pipeline. You have a North Star, 3 quarterly targets, weekly sprints, and daily non-negotiables. Not because you're a robot, but because chaos erodes attraction. When your days are shaped by intention, you stop bargaining for emotional crumbs. You stop confusing drama with chemistry. You stop letting her moods write your schedule. The man with a pipeline doesn't chase attention. He generates gravity. Women feel the difference the way you feel the weight of a car idling next to you at a red light. Quiet power, present, contained. Here's how to translate that into the messy edges of dating. If you're purpose-driven, you convert blur to binary. Breadcrumbing is the softest trap. A flirty comment here, a heart reaction there, we should totally hang floating forever. Send one clear invitation with time and place. If she responds vaguely or delays twice, archive the thread and return to the mission. Not mute, not block, archive. It removes the slot machine effect from your brain. If she resurfaces later with energy and specifics, great. Every time you stop the scroll and reopen your draft proposal instead, you're building attraction where it counts, in yourself. If not, she was never an opportunity, just noise. Jealousy bait is another common play. She drops stories about other guys or posts thirst traps right after ignoring you, then studies your reaction like a lab tech. Don't provide data. 2-beat pause, then opt out without flinching. I'm not competing for attention. If you want to see me, propose a plan. If she doubles down, you mirror indifference with action. Unfollow, mute stories, prioritize your deliverables. Not as punishment, protection. Your nervous system quiets when inputs simplify. Attraction thrives in calm, not chaos. The most covert leverage is sexual scarcity used as control. She implies intimacy is a prize for obedience, not a shared expression of desire. You want clarity, not pressure. Lead with pacing and standards. I move slowly until trust is real. Intimacy for me is enthusiastic, not negotiated. If she frames intimacy as something you buy with favors, you exit the frame entirely. Sounds like we want different things. No hard feelings. You will feel the tug to rationalize. Resist. A man who trades his values for access grows cheap in his own eyes, and that cheapness leaks everywhere. Voice tone, posture, decision speed. Women sense it instantly. Overinvestment is solved by budget and audit. Budget. Decide how many hours per week you allocate to dating honestly and cap it. Audit. Every Sunday, score your interactions on two axes: effort reciprocity and emotional clarity. If any thread sits at low reciprocity and low clarity for 2 consecutive weeks, it gets parked. Don't tell her. Don't make a speech. Just reassign that time to your mission, your body, your craft. Let reality breathe. When she notices your reduced availability and steps up with concrete plans, great. If she fades, your audit just saved you months. Your recovery protocol for manipulative exchanges needs to be automatic. Response: 90-second reset. Put the phone in another room. Do 20 slow squats, 20 push-ups, drink water. Then execute one needle-moving task that takes less than 15 minutes. Ship it. When your biology returns to baseline through action, you reclaim leadership of your state. After that, evaluate whether a boundary was crossed. If yes, address behavior once, not 4 times. When plans are last minute, I lose interest. Let's plan ahead or skip. If the pattern repeats, you don't explain, you exit. Dates are leadership reps. You choose the venue with intention, quiet enough to connect, aligned with your life. If you're a morning trainer, suggest Saturday coffee plus a farmer's market stroll. If you build nights, suggest weekday dinner early, home by 10. Avoid high-sensory environments where you compensate with performance. You're not auditioning, you're co-investigating. Ask asymmetrical questions that reveal values. What's something hard you chose recently, and what did it change? Don't chase answers. Sit in silence after asking. The pause tests substance. If she looks for your eyes when she answers, you're connecting. If she scans the room for validation, you're not. Social media must serve you or be minimized. Remove notifications. Post your craft, your process, your life, not your thirst. Never subtweet your dating life. Mystery comes from momentum, not secrecy. People can feel when your feed is an artifact of a real engine. They can also feel when it's a costume for an empty room. If you need the feed to feel alive, you need a mission more than you need a match. Your morning and night routines are the guardrails of sovereignty. Only then do you allow inputs, and even then, in batches. Morning. Phone off. 20 minutes of movement, 20 minutes of deep work on your highest leverage task, 5 minutes to review the day's top 3. Night. Audit the day in 3 lines: what moved, what stalled, what to cut. Send one gratitude message to a mentor or brother. Your nervous system starts to associate self-respect with completion rather than attention. That's when you stop chasing her uncertainty and she starts chasing your certainty. What thread in your phone needs to be archived tonight so you can hear yourself think again? Which of your last 5 dates reflected a life you're proud to repeat, and which one was a performance that drained you? If you audited your week for reciprocity and clarity right now, who stays, who pauses, and where does that free time go? There's a reason she tests you when things start to feel real. The closer she gets to you, the more she needs to know if your center is fixed or if it trembles when she leans. A purpose-driven man doesn't pass by resisting women. He passes by refusing to betray his direction for approval. That shows up in small, unglamorous moments. She says, "Can you talk right now?" while you're mid-work block. You feel that old tug. If you say no, will she think you don't care? Here's the move. Acknowledge, anchor, offer. Want to give it my full attention. I'm heads down until 4. Call you at 4:15 or 7, your pick. You didn't explain your entire schedule. You didn't apologize for being focused. You set a container and gave 2 options. If she respects it, your attraction grows. If she pouts, you've learned something early and cheaply. Calibrate your communication with a cadence that protects momentum without smothering it. Use the 2-1-1 rhythm for the first month. 2 meaningful exchanges initiated by you per week. Plans, playful check-ins, substance. 1 initiation expected from her. 1 call or date that advances connection. If she never initiates, you don't compensate by doubling yours. You hold the line and observe. Interest creates behavior. You're not waiting on a throne, you're measuring alignment. When logistics get flaky, switch to a 72-hour scheduling window. Offer times inside the next 3 days only. If nothing lands, press pause. Let's circle back when our weeks are lighter. Then you truly move on. The window prevents you from turning into her backup plan and keeps your life in motion. Escalation should follow investment, not anxiety. Early on, keep intimacy congruent with trust. If you feel pressure, yours or hers, name the pace without shame. I'm attracted to you. I go slow until we're grounded. I'd rather build something solid than sprint and stall. If that statement cost you a fast lane to nowhere, good. You just avoided being evaluated only for access. The man who can walk away from rushed intimacy shows he's not starving. Scarcity screams, sovereignty speaks. When the hot-cold pattern appears, switch from decoding to documenting. Keep a private log for 2 weeks. Plan offers, confirmations, reschedules, affection, follow-through. Patterns beat stories. If the log shows warmth only when you withdraw, you're trapped in intermittent reinforcement, the casino of emotions. Close the casino, remove the jackpot. No more dramatic re-engagements after silence. When she returns after a vanishing act, you treat it like weather, not prophecy. Good to hear from you. If you want to reconnect, propose a plan. If she tries to skip straight to long late-night chats, you redirect to daytime coffee. If she wants the high without the investment, the pattern will die on its own when you stop subsidizing it. Your language is a tool, not a weapon. Use I statements to mark standards and if-then to set consequences without threat. I value plans that stick. If we need to move things last minute, I usually check in the next week. Simple, clean, repeatable. You are not punishing. You are predictable. Predictability in your standards is the sexiest kind of certainty because it proves your emotions don't rewrite your rules. Women feel safest and most attracted around men whose integrity survives mood swings. Screen earlier and harder. On the first 2 dates, test for contribution. After she shares a win, ask, what did that cost you? After you share yours, ask, where are you putting your next 10 hours? If her answers float in fantasy with zero plan, that's fine if you're casual. If you're building, it's misaligned. You're not trying to fix anyone. You're curating your ecosystem. Purpose doesn't make you superior. It makes you selective. And selectivity is how you protect your mission from becoming a rescue project. Overinvestment often hides in helpfulness. You start consulting her career, solving her family drama, being her therapist. That's counterfeit intimacy. Set a competence boundary. You will listen, you will reflect, you will not manage. When she dumps a crisis on you at midnight, offer empathy and a next-day check-in. That's heavy. Take care of you tonight. Text me tomorrow at 2 and we'll think through options for 10 minutes. You just proved you care and preserved your sleep, your morning, your clarity. If she needs endless access to feel special, you're incompatible. You will not outcare an unfillable hole, and trying will make you resentful and dull. Your time architecture is your armor. Lock your week in blocks. Build, body, brothers, leisure, love. Schedule your love blocks last, not because it matters least, but because the others enable you to love well. A man who trains, builds, and keeps strong friendships brings richer presence to a date than a man who's been doom-scrolling and fantasizing. When you show up with a lit life, you don't need the evening to validate you. You're free to enjoy or to end it, cleanly, because you have somewhere worthy to return to. If you catch yourself spiraling, checking her socials, rereading threads, guessing tone, deploy the 3-cut intervention. Cut stimulation. Log out, put the phone in a drawer. Cut rumination. Write exactly 3 lines about what you know, not what you fear. Cut inertia. Do one task that advances your top goal by 1%. You'll feel your spine come back online. Attraction follows men who can self-regulate under pressure. And when it's time to walk, walk quiet. No manifesto, no final lecture. This doesn't feel aligned with how I live. Wishing you well? Then actually go. Block if needed, not to be dramatic, but to protect the nervous system you need to win your battles. The space you create by leaving an ill-fitting dynamic is not empty. It's oxygen for your purpose. The right woman will feel that oxygen when she meets you. She won't have to pry you out of your phone. She won't have to perform to captivate you. She'll be invited into motion and decide for herself if she can keep pace. Which part of your week needs a 72-hour window so you stop bending around uncertainty? Where have you been helpful as a way to seem valuable? What boundary will you set tonight? When you imagine walking away cleanly, what sentence would you use, and what door in your life would open the next morning? Imagine waking tomorrow with a clean slate and a hard reset on your identity. The tug of war over attention is over. Your phone is quiet because you designed it to be. Your calendar has edges because you drew them. Your chest feels heavy but stable, like you're wearing armor that finally fits. You aren't numbing, you're noticing. That ache you feel isn't loss, it's withdrawal from the cheap hits you mistook for intimacy. You sip your coffee, Open your laptop and start the day with a single decisive act toward your mission before the world even knows you're awake. That move matters. It's the quiet declaration that you will no longer outsource your direction to anyone's moods. You will love, but you will not kneel to chaos. You will pursue, but you will not sprint for breadcrumbs. You will give, but only what you can replenish without resentment. Now you start choosing like a man. You aren't hunting for proof that you're worthy. You're filtering for alignment. A woman can be stunning, funny, magnetic, and still be wrong for the future you're building. You don't turn that into a crusade. You turn it into a decision. Your litmus is simple. Does she add oxygen or steal it? Do you leave interactions clearer and more ambitious, or hazy and hesitant? Does she respect your work blocks, your training, your brothers, your sleep? You stop arguing with data. If it's not a yes, it's a no, for now or for good. You're not slamming doors, you're protecting thresholds. When you find a woman who resonates with your pace, you lead with structure that amplifies, not suffocates. You set a weekly rhythm, one adventure that stretches you both, one quiet ritual that grounds you both, one check-in that keeps truth current. You handle conflict with calm protocol. No midnight wars. If tension spikes, you call a timeout and schedule the conversation when your nervous systems are rested. You speak from standard. Here's what matters to me, here's what I'll do, here's what I won't. You listen for substance, not volume. You choose repair over drama, and if repair isn't mutual, you choose reality over fantasy. You never again mortgage your mission to buy someone else's comfort. You'll still get tested. You'll still feel old reflexes, the urge to over-explain, to rescue, to chase the high of sudden warmth. But now you have drills. When withdrawal shows up, you don't beg. You breathe, you build. You offer a plan once, and you move. When jealousy bait lands, you don't perform. You opt out and redirect to tangible plans or silence. When false urgency tries to conscript you, you return to criteria and consequences, not arguments. When your own anxiety rises, you deploy the three-cut intervention and let your body lead your brain back to baseline. You are not immune to the game. You are unbuyable by it. Guard your solitude like a temple. It's where you hear the next right move. A man who can sit alone without reaching for a screen becomes rare, and rare is attractive. Your evenings don't always need company. They need completion. You stop seeking something to do and start doing the something you promised yourself. Skill compounds, craft compounds, reputation compounds, self-respect compounds, and in that compounding, your presence changes. You speak slower, you choose fewer words, you look people in the eye and your gaze doesn't ask for anything. Women feel the steadiness and either synchronize or step aside. You don't force either outcome. You let the current of your purpose sort the river. Do not confuse indifference with cruelty. You can be warm and still be immovable. You can care deeply and still walk. You can love a woman and still decline to abandon the work that makes you trustworthy. That paradox makes you magnetic, the softness of your heart inside the steel of your boundaries. You won't always get applause. Some will call you cold because you won't be controlled. Others will call you arrogant because you won't audition. Let them. You're not campaigning. You're creating. The real win isn't getting any particular woman, it's never losing yourself again. Attraction, when it comes, is a byproduct. It grows in the wake of a life that moves. You become the man who returns texts when he is free because he is doing something worth being busy for. You become the man who sets dates he can keep because he keeps promises to himself. You become the man who can offer devotion without disappearing. And if a woman tries to turn your devotion into a leash, you simply unclip it and carry on. No crescendo, no collapse, just a steady stride back to the path you chose. You will be tempted to chase the old spikes, late-night validation, chaotic loops, high-intensity connections that collapse by sunrise. Recognize the cost early. Choose the clean pain of discipline over the dirty pain of regret. Keep your word to yourself when no one is watching. Build the thing that scares you, because it could actually work. Schedule the conversation that would clear the air. Make the ask that advances your craft. Then go lift, go read, go write, go ship. Love will meet you there, not as a rescue from your emptiness, but as a companion to your fullness. And when the day comes that she tries to test your center with a storm, you'll smile, not in contempt, but in certainty. You'll hold your course, let the weather pass, and see what remains when the sky is honest again. That's when you'll know you've shifted from chasing attraction to embodying it. You didn't get colder. You got clear. And with that spine, you can finally love without losing the man you fought to become. You didn't build walls. You built a spine. She didn't break you. She revealed what you were too afraid to protect.